So, hello everybody, and a very warm welcome from me. My name is Anthony Selden, and I'd like to welcome all of you and hope that this is a very illuminating and relevant and stimulating exercise that you're going to be hearing. You'll be hearing from some very, very well-informed people. And my own experience is that I've been a head teacher, headmaster for some 25 years. I was head in Brighton College on the south coast of England, and then head of Wellington College. And for the last 2 years, I've been the head of Epsom College. Epsom College is if it's not already known, is an outstanding co-ed boarding and day school in Surrey, the winner of many, many awards, and very, very popular indeed. So it's been a great fun, a great privilege to be the head of this wonderful school. And it's a worrying time for British parents who have children in independent schools. The almost total certainty that there'll be a Labour government in power in the next 2 weeks has made everybody anxious because of what they're promising about charging VAT on schools, which will have a big impact on school fees. So parents are, I think, very rightly thinking about, can they afford to remain in independent schools? Will the fees keep going up? Now, schools, of course, will do their best to cut back, but there are other options. And in the same way that our students here at Epsom College UK are increasingly looking to go to university abroad and to go off to the United States, North America, Canada, Europe, and all the way over to the Far East. So there is an interesting current of parents who are looking at sending their children to boarding schools in the Far East. And there is an excellent option. Now, of course, I'm biased to declare that, but there is an excellent option of Epsom College in Malaysia. What would that offer? Well, it is an outstanding school. It's received accreditation from the award-winning body, the Council of British International Schools, known as COBIS, and it has won the Beacon School Awards from COBIS for excellence in education. And I was delighted to visit the school just at the end of last year and spend some time in there meeting the wonderful students and the staff and parents. And it is a remarkable school. And I have to say that the facilities are out of this world. Well, if not out of this world, because obviously they're in this world, they're out of anything that parents would expect to see in a school in Britain. I think there are extraordinary advantages from coming and having an education in another continent, not the least having that international experience. I mean, I've been a big advocate all my career of the International Baccalaureate, and that's valuable because it is an international curriculum. So I would see perhaps for some parents, the option is going 2 or 3 steps further than the International Baccalaureate of actually living in another culture, in another country, another continent, while having the benefit of all that's best about that rounded British education. One of the great advantages of Epsom College Malaysia, in addition to the name, the quality of the teaching, the record, the quality of the students, is, of course, the proximity to the airport, because that's naturally going to be a concern. And the fact that it is very close indeed to the airport is, as strong has been found by many parents who send their children to the school, to be a great advantage of it. So there we are. I think it's a tantalizing choice that increasingly parents are going to be looking at. They want the very best for their children. What parent doesn't want their very best for their children? They're vexed by the possibility of affording school fees, particularly if there's more than one, and with the uncertainties on fees in the future in Britain. And I think it's absolutely right that I'd always encourage parents to look beyond and see what else is out there. And I think one of the great strengths of the many strengths of Epsom College Malaysia, and in addition to being part of the Epsom College family with the same standards and traditions, is the outstanding head. So I've known Matthew Brown for some time. He is a remarkable, a wonderful head. And heads really matter in schools. And you're going to be now listening to Matthew talk about the Epsom College Malaysia, and explain the ethos and the values of the school. So it's been a joy talking to you this morning. Whatever decisions that you make, I hope you will feel that it's been a good thing, a good use of your time to consider this option, which, as I said, a lot of parents are thinking seriously about. And if indeed you do decide that this is one that you want to pursue, I would be confident that you would think this was a very good decision, and your children will have their whole minds and worlds expanded by working at a school, being in a school in a different part of the world, but equally somewhere that's just 10 hours away by plane. And so far away, different, but also surprisingly close. There we are. Handing then over to Matthew, and thank you very much indeed for listening.
So Anthony, thank you very much for your kind words and for your introduction to us there. And I think, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's something that offers something very similar to that is offered in Epsom UK, but also something different. I know as you were speaking there, Sir Anthony, I was thinking about my own children's experience. They came to our school with me and my wife when we moved here in 2018. They did their GCSEs and their A-levels and now gone on then to study at university back in the UK. Their personal experience was that this was a fantastic place for them to be, to grow and become international young people. So if you like then, if we can take up those themes and say, what is it that we offer here in Epsom College in Malaysia? It is a very close link to that UK tradition, the UK heritage and the UK high standards of a UK education. We follow the IGCSE programme, the Key Stage 3 national curriculum. We then offer A-levels. And those then are the opening, if you like, they open the doors to the best universities in the world. And there's some of that detail to come later. There is also that security of knowing that we have been accredited by independent organisations, not only Epsom College itself, who work very closely with us, but also the COBIS and other organisations that work with us. And COBIS have given us this beacon status. Our facilities are kind of world class. I've never. The campus is beautiful and incredibly well resourced, and we'll get into some more details along that. Our teachers are handpicked from across the world, the majority coming from the UK, but also others coming from America and other very high quality countries for outstanding teachers. And again, they're handpicked by myself and my team. It's a very multicultural environment, over 30 nationalities across the school. from across Asia, but also from Europe, and also again sometimes from Africa, and also from the Americas. It's a very, very international, vibrant community. We're able to offer local internships, and I think one of our key strengths is this happy learning environment. My boys and the teachers' children, and also several children who've come from the UK to study with us, have found it to be a very, very safe feeling environment where they can relax and flourish by building really lifelong and deep relationships with peers from across the world. So if we just go forward a couple of slides, please, to the next session. That's myself. So Epsom College, we call ourselves the sister school to Epsom College in the UK. We work very closely. As Sir Anthony described, he has visited us. I have visited Epsom College in the UK on a number of occasions. We have meetings online at least once per half term, and the links are strong. We are held to account by the Epsom governors in the UK, and we work with them to bring the best of their heritage and apply that here in this Asian context. And we're very, very proud to call ourselves the sister school of Epsom College in the UK. But Sir Anthony has already introduced the UK school, so we can go to the next slide, please. This is then about that comparison. So we follow very similar traditions. Our boarding houses have the same names as those in Epsom College UK. We follow the same curriculum. There's the same theme to our sports kits, to our uniform, to our curriculum, and the way that we develop our staff. We want to offer, and I believe we do offer, the same quality of academic education, but like I say, within that different environment, within this Asian context, in this fast developing, vibrant country of Malaysia, along with all those other international students. And like I say, we offer the IGCSEs and A-levels. The next slide, please, Anjali, that would be great. Yeah, can we just go to there we go. Our campus, I told you it was fabulous, and indeed it is. Look at that picture there. I mean, on the screen there, you can see the curved building right in the front is all of our academic blocks from the right-hand side, which is our sports hall, through to our science laboratories over on the left-hand side. It's 80 acres in total. We have the boarding houses at the back there. The building is moving sort of away from that front curved section. There are boarding houses, and again, they follow the same names as those in Epsom, UK. And we are building 4 more boarding houses because we are growing rapidly as that boarding option becomes increasingly popular. You can also see that we have the most tremendous sporting resources as well, from a cricket field, rugby, our golf driving range. There's a football pitches. We've got the 4G, hockey, tennis. I'll come back maybe a bit more detail later on, but there really are outstanding world-class resources for our sport. And every day, our students are getting involved in this wide range of sport and competing across Asia. Our tennis players will travel right across Asia, so will our golf players and so on. And hopefully in the future, our footballers too. So it is an absolutely beautiful campus. And as it says, they're only 15 minutes from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. It's a very, very quick transit from the airport to get to the school, which is reassuring for parents and is very good for students to get to the school quickly. Next slide, please, Anjali. Our school, we take it seriously that we don't just take our word for it, but that we also look to others to give that accreditation. You can see some of our memberships. You can read more about it in the Good Schools Guide. Their review was in the last few months. We're members of these different organisations, but we're also then accredited by the Council of British International Schools. It's good if you find our report to take a read of it. It really does show how outstanding our provision is. And we were awarded this beacon status in 2 areas: for the leadership in the school and the welfare of the students. And there's also a beautiful picture of our students and our staff taken earlier this year. We're about 600 students. We'll probably be growing to about 650, 700 next year. We're not an enormous school. I know most of the students by their names, and it really is a very close-knit community. Okay, next slide, please, Anjali. And our team, we do, like I say, we select teachers from the best teachers from all over the world. I interview them all personally. They will all go through a very stringent interview process, excuse me. and they will be coming from all over. This is our leadership team. So we have our head of boarding, Mr. Dan Long, who'll be talking with us later. Kate Fowler, our deputy head teacher pastoral. Xavier Parker, she's our second master, like my deputy and the day-to-day running of the school, and Kate Carden-Brown, our director of admissions, also working very closely with our university guidance. It just so happens that all of that particular team are all trained in the UK, and they've all taught and worked in boarding schools or international schools across the world, as well as in the UK. Very fortunate to have such an experienced and high quality team, and it gives you a little flavor. Can we to the next slide, please? Not just outdoors are the are the resources beautiful, but also indoors. The campus is only 10 years old. It's incredibly well maintained, making sure that the quality continues to grow as we develop spaces. Our theatre, over 600 students, and it's the heart of the school. Every week our assemblies are there, our shows are in there. It really is the beating heart of our school and our community. But also, there are art areas and our music areas. So we really do provide outstanding learning environments for our students in every single classroom. They're all very well appointed with digital sort of TVs and displays and so on. We strive, and we offer the same quality resources as you would get in the best schools anywhere in the world. And so it is a tremendous campus. Yeah, next slide, please. This includes our sports. We can see here the opportunities that they have available. We have partnerships with our golf. We have for a golf academy, our tennis academy, and our football academy. And again, just an example of some of these sports opportunities that we're able to offer. Next slide. Okay, I'm going to hand over now. So if you like, that was a little summary of our school. But before I do, I just want to go back to what I think is the key part of our school, which is the pupil experience. And I know that from the emails that I receive from parents, my experience as a parent, and also all the other parents I speak with, it is a safe and vibrant environment for young people to grow, international, and a place where they can just be themselves. There is no sort of if you like, that sort of street cred or that whatever it might be, that those expectations, they are different in our school. Students are able to just flourish in their own way and build friendships from across the world. And I think that does provide an environment where they can just concentrate on their learning and be the best versions of themselves. Part of that then is helping students to go on to somewhere in the future that's their best choice, their ambitious options that they want to take into the future. And key to that is Ms. Kate Carden-Brown, as I mentioned, our admissions director, but also our head of higher education. So I'm going to hand over to Ms. Kate Carden-Brown, who's going to say a little bit about how we, after the students have been with us, how we safely and successfully hand them on to many of the best international universities. So thank you, Kate.
Everybody, okay, hopefully you can hear me okay. Sorry for the echo. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so Anjali, please could you put the next slide on? So my name is Kate Carden-Brown, and before coming to work in Epsom, I was a head of sixth form in a school in West Wales, where I'm resident when I'm not in Malaysia. And I did that for many, many years and supported students with the team to go on to universities, largely in the UK from where I worked from back then, but students from Epsom go to universities all over the world. As Matthew mentioned earlier, we offer a British curriculum. That's what I'm going to start with, talking about the curriculum that we offer. We offer a British curriculum and we welcome students aged 3 through to 18. So we have a prep school, and a senior school, and students will study GCSEs. IGCSEs is what they'll study here. That I for international, It's the same qualification as the students in the UK will sit for. It just means that they're able to sit the exams at a time that's suitable for them. Because if they were sitting just the UK GCSEs, obviously the times wouldn't work. So it's exactly the same qualification. It's just the time zones will be different. Okay, next slide, please. So our teachers are largely expatriate, and we, as Matthew said, carefully select them, and they were all specialists in their chosen field. And we have a low student teacher ratio in our classes, and our main aim is to ensure that we have teachers who are absolutely committed to delivering what it is that we seek to offer, which is an excellent education. And that means strong teacher-pupil relationships, inspirational teaching, engaging teaching, teaching that is going to enable those students to take their learning to the next level, whatever their starting level. So while we aspire for great things, we fully understand that some students will struggle, and we're here to support them with the challenges that they face to enable them as individuals to achieve their personal goals. On the next slide, we can see some of our teachers here. So we've got art through to psychology. All of our teachers, like I say, will hold a degree in their specialist subject, and we are very careful in our selection process. We will check their teaching, we will observe their teaching as part of the interview process. Next slide, please. Here are our results, the latest results, and on the right-hand side is lovely Ian, who had many university offers. You can see that he got the highest mark in the world for physics, highest in Malaysia for chemistry and maths. He got 5 A stars for his A levels, and he actually chose to go to the National University of Singapore, and he had a full scholarship for that. On the next slide, please, Anjali, we can see, well, that's me with some of our students, and my specialism is the university guidance counselling, and we offer a really bespoke service. We try to make sure that our students feel well, we foster a relationship with our students where they feel really safe to engage with us and share with us everything that we need to know to make sure that their application is fully supported. Like I say, it's an open door policy, very bespoke, one-to-one, and we will support students with every step of the application, from drafting the personal statement or the college essay if it's America, or wherever it is that they're applying for, through to admissions tests, or perhaps, you know, preparing for their interviews if they're applying for a really elite university that will interview. And students from Epsom will go to study all over the world. Most will go to the UK. However, an increasing number are choosing other destinations. America is and has always been popular with our students, but Canada, Singapore, the Netherlands, Germany. We've got one student this year targeting France. We've had students go on to China who aren't Chinese, but they've gone to Chinese universities, Japan as well. And many of those universities offer scholarships because they are actively seeking to recruit students, because, for example, in Japan, their birth rate is low and they are seeking to recruit students. Hong Kong is also seeking to recruit students. So if that's something that speaks to you as a family, it might be something worth considering. We've got extensive internship opportunities because we've got an extremely supportive board of governors who are very, very well connected in terms of the sectors that they work in. So fintech, banking, hotellery, aviation, engineering, medicine. Our students in year 12 will be able to apply for internships, and that's something that we will support them with going forward. IELTS isn't necessarily something that, if you're a British citizen, you will need to consider, but if you're an international family, IELTS stands for the International English Language Testing System, and it's a requirement for students whose passport isn't a British one, hoping to, or an English-speaking country's one, and they're hoping to study in a country where English is the medium of instruction. We go to the next slide. So these are some of our alumni. So you can see some of the grades that they've achieved. That's just a little add-on. So if we go to the next slide, these are our offers this year. So you can see there's a very, very wide range from Cambridge, LSE, etc. Various universities in America, Hong Kong, Canada, Japan, and the Netherlands should be on there somewhere as well. So yeah, this year students are holding offers from a very, very broad range of university destinations. And on the next slide, these are another selection of universities that students have gone on to study at. I've mentioned on the next slide some of the internship opportunities that are on offer. On the top slide, there is Tansri Tony Fernandez, who set up Air Asia, and he is an Epsomian. He went to Epsom UK, and it's because of Tony Fernandez that we are in existence here in Malaysia. He is one of our governors, and he is extremely supportive of our students, and that's him there with some of our students during an internship that they undertook. On the next slide, we've got details of our Epsom Live talks, and these are opportunities for students to engage with C-suite leaders, high-profile politicians. On the bottom slide with the lady with her arm up, that's one of the first lady judges of Malaysia. The man to the left of her is David Dufresnoy, so he worked with Airbus. The next slide above is the previous Prime Minister of Malaysia, who came to speak with our students, and our prefects moderated a talk with him. And to the right, that's Shang Jing, who's got a place at Stanford for the coming year. And he is with a very high profile businessman who owns multiple companies, and he came in to talk about entrepreneurship. These talks take place very, very regularly, and we are very hot on student leadership, and that's why we got the COBIS Award. Our students are encouraged to set up societies to enrich their wider learning, academic societies, so math society, economic society, various, whatever it is that they fancy, they can run, and we support them with that. And those societies then can reach out to these entrepreneurs or C-suite leaders to invite them in, and they will research them, and they'll research the questions that they'd like to ask. There's always a member of staff there to support, but it's largely student-led. And by virtue of those opportunities, our students really do develop skills and attributes that won't only help them with their university application, wider knowledge that will help them with their university application, but it's really helpful for them in their future career. Okay, so that's me, and I'm now going to hand over to Mr. Daniel Long, who is our head of boarding.
Hello, everybody. It's lovely to well, not see you, but meet you virtually. As Ms. Kate Carden-Brown said, my name is Daniel Long. I'm, like Mr. Brown also said, trained from the UK, and I'm delighted to be joining Epsom this year. I'm new to the school, but I must say that I've been blown away by the opportunity that the students have here. Asia is, and Malaysia in particular, is extremely safe. It's something that we tend to forget, but the campus itself is extremely safe, and we all want our children to be safe. The campus is extremely secure with wonderful guards. They are stationed all over the campus, which makes it seem like it's a country where you need lots of security, but I can assure you it's a very, very safe country. For me, really, the opportunity for the students exists in the boarding house. I personally believe that there is no better classroom than the boarding house. The boarding house brings to you so many different opportunities for learning. In terms of independence and learning new skills, the cultural differences between our students. We have students from all over the world, many Japanese and Chinese students, Korean students, Taiwanese, students from Hong Kong, Singapore, British, South African, you name it. We have students from everywhere, and ultimately we're in a world that is more and more becoming one world, if you like. We are truly becoming global. So I can testify to the fact that our boarding experience allows our students to flourish, become resilient, more independent, foster relationships that they will have for the rest of their life. If we could move on to the next slide, please. As Mr. Brown previously said, we do take pride in following in the footsteps of Epsom College UK. The names of the houses, as you see here, are exactly that of Epsom UK. We're currently in an exciting phase where we are building new boarding houses, and these houses will be up and running from January next year, and we're really looking forward to that and welcoming many new students. Next slide, please. These are a range of pictures, but the ones that I'd like you to take a little look at here, most notably, are those at the top and the bottom left. These are artistic impressions of the new boarding homes, and these will be state of the art. Absolutely beautiful. We've been heavily involved in the process, going back and forth with architects, making sure that what we get is what we want to deliver to the students, and that when the students walk in, their jaws will drop and they will be absolutely delighted. We'd like to see you here one day where your jaw can drop too, maybe, perhaps, who knows. And if we could go to the next slide, please. And before I finish, I believe this is my last slide. It really is about those experiences, the opportunities that students have. So many of the pictures that you will see here will be a range of different days. I believe many of these are International Day, where students from all over the world will give each other a flavor of their culture, their language, what they know. So, you know, outside of the classroom, every experience is a learning experience. The boarding house really does bring that home. And as I said, the experiences you learn in the boarding house are like no other. So I implore you to do your due diligence and look forward to Epsom in Malaysia. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Mrs. Kate Fowler, our Deputy Head Principal, and it was very lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate Fowler. I'm very sorry I can't join with my video. I had a bit of a problem joining the call, so I'm on my phone on this call, but you can see a picture of me. My role is to be in charge of student well-being and behaviour. If we move to the next slide, please. As Matthew mentioned earlier, we create experiences for our children where they feel safe, and it's a really vibrant community. One of the main sort of pillars or ethos of Epsom Malaysia is to nurture our students. And for that, we want them to feel happy and safe. We want them to feel a sense of belonging, have positive physical and mental health, and build really meaningful relationships with students at the school, but also with the teachers and staff that are here to look after them. We expose our students to a really diverse set of extracurricular activities to try and encourage the students to find passions beyond the classroom. You know, students that achieve and are successful are happy students that feel safe and belonging. And you can see on that slide there the numerous different things that are taking place to help the student feel safe and secure at our school. Okay, next slide, please. We're set in Malaysia, but because we are a British boarding school connected with Epsom in the UK, we do follow the UK standards for safeguarding. So we do follow the Keeping Children Safe in Education guidelines for the UK government. So we do have a strong safeguarding team that consists of staff across the school, including myself and Mr. Daniel Long, who just spoke. But our head of prep and deputy head of prep are also part of the safeguarding team, along with our nurse and our school counsellor, Ms. Pajan. And we also have a governor, a safeguarding governor, who is also contactable by staff and students and teachers if there's any problems. But we do take safeguarding extremely seriously, and we have lots of systems and procedures in place to ensure the students feel safe. Next slide, please. Mr. Long's already mentioned this, but we do have extensive security on site. So we check everybody coming in and out. We have surveillance cameras. We have sort of tags that you have to be able to get into certain areas of the school. So we do take the security and safety of our students very seriously, but also it is a very safe country to be in. I have 2 children at the school, and they do go out and about around KL to shopping malls and to cafes and things like that. But you know, the safety of our children is extremely important, and our security staff are excellent. So you always go that extra mile for people at the school. Next slide. I've mentioned our medical staff. It's a boarding community, and we want to make sure that our students are looked after. We have 3 nurses, trained professional nurses, that rotates. We always have 2 on site during the day, and we have 1 overnight in our sanatorium. So there's, 24 hours, 7 days a week, we have a qualified nurse on site to look after our children if they need any medical attention or care. They also build really strong relationships with our students and know them really well. And they're an important part of our team in terms of pastoral care and safeguarding. Thank you. Next slide. We have a lot of systems in place to make sure that the students always have someone that they can speak to, an adult. There are many sort of layers to our system. We can see on the right there, that's Mrs. Helen Miller. She's one of our HMMs, our house mistresses of Crawford House. And in a house, you would have 3 residential staff, the house mistress, assistant house mistress, residential tutor, but also matron and our pastoral assistant and GAP students. All of these people build really positive relationships with the students in the boarding houses. And then we also have our counsellor, school counsellor, Ms. Pajan, who meets with the students. Sometimes the students will just drop in to meet her, or we may well refer a student to Ms. Pajan, and she will be there to help them. But every student is a member of a tutor group, and their tutor will be there to help guide them, not just through the academics of the school, but also all those emotional roller coaster rides of being a teenager or young person in a school environment. It's an extremely supportive community, and everyone looks after each other. Okay, next slide, please. This is, happy living, learning environment. It is such a busy school. There's something going on all the time. You can see the pictures there, a variety of different things that have taken place. Just last week, we had Spirit Week, where we had dress-up days and water games and obstacle courses to try and get the students to not only enjoy themselves, but also to create those strong relationships and meaningful relationships with each other. We have house competitions. We have boarding trips, we have boarding activities in the evening. It is a busy school and there's lots going on, and we really encourage the students to take advantage of all the opportunities that are put in front of them. We really do find that the more the student wants to get involved, the happier they are at school, and the more successful they are overall as well. So, busy, vibrant community, lots of support in place for students if they need it. But also lots of opportunities for students to really thrive and flourish at our school. Okay, so I will hand back over to Kate Carden-Brown for the next section.
There's a lot of Kates in Epsom. Yes. So I'm Kate, we've got Kate Fowler, so it's me again. If we could go to the next slide, I'm going to talk to you now a little bit about Beyond Academics. So we have some sporting facilities on site that are available for students who either would like to really specialise with a view to potentially becoming professionals, or who simply want to become proficient because it's something important for life, to find something that you're passionate about, that you can use to relax and to let off steam, to socialise with, to network with, and just have fun. So you can take your sports to a really high level through having professional coaching, or just enjoy these facilities and, like I say, develop proficiency in them. So on the next slide, we can see, first of all, our tennis program. And please, if I don't want you to feel that this is just for students who are excellent. We take all levels, and the Mouratoglou tennis program was founded by Patrick Mouratoglou, and it's in Nice. It started in Nice in France, and that's where the mothership academy is. But he's partnered with us, and we've got the most amazing tennis facilities, and we are able to offer very high level coaching, CCAs after school for students who want to participate and, like I say, just become proficient. So that's something very, very exciting for some students and their families. On the next slide, we can see the fact that we've got various courts. We've got clay courts, and we've got ITF compliant covered courts. Well, all of our courts are ITF compliant, and we host competitions, and our students will go to take part in competitions all over Asia. So yeah, very, very beautiful facilities. We've also got golf available. On site, we've got a golf driving range, and we're about 8 minutes away from a golf course. So students who want to take part in golf are able to do so without having to leave our very safe, secure site that's guarded 24/7. And like Kate Fowler said, our guards are fantastic. We make sure that all of the staff here, whether they're the guards, whether the cleaning staff, the catering staff, teachers, whoever that might be, we foster an ethos and a culture where everybody is known and valued and respected, and that includes our guards, and all of our students are known to our guards. So the golf facility here is part of our campus, and the whole campus is fenced off and gated. On the next slide, we've got our academy where we've partnered with La Liga. So students who just love football are able to take that to a very high level should they wish to. We've got fantastic facilities for that, both outdoor and indoor, where students will develop their fitness in our gym and our sports facilities. Daily training sessions available. Okay, if we could skip to slide 44. Here are some of our Sports Academy results. We've got some students here, Shino, Lynn, Riona, who have made extremely good progress in their sports, in tennis. And Adriana in year 9 is extremely good at golf, and I don't doubt that she's going to go on to achieve great things and is targeting a scholarship in America. So that slide is just to give you a little flavour of some of the students that have come to us and have made very, very rapid progress thanks to the excellent coaching that's available to them. And on the next slide, we have also got a music academy starting. So our students who are talented musicians are able to participate in the Malaysian International Youth Orchestra. That's going to be based here, and every year they can go and take part in the English Schools Orchestra if they perform to the required level. So we've got a director of music who is going to be joining us from September, and that's a really, really exciting addition to the suite of opportunities available to our students beyond the traditional academic curriculum. And all of these academies, all of these opportunities feed into our vision of developing students, enabling students to develop as individuals with skills and attributes, not only academic, but beyond that, either for the pure love of that activity in and of itself, or because they want to become extremely good at it, because they have a pathway that they're targeting and they want to become a professional musician or professional golfer, or because they can see that that is something that's going to enable them to enjoy their life more. But all of these opportunities shape students' character, they shape their, they forge resilience and independence, goal setting, time management, skills and attributes that are just important for successful young adults. And that's what we hope we will enable our students to become upon graduation from our very special school. So I hope you've enjoyed my part of the presentation. I'm going to hand back now to Matthew, Mr. Brown.
That's great. Thank you very much there, Kate. And I think sorry, I was muted there for a moment. I've unmuted now. Just to say thank you very much to everyone who's given those presentations. My role now is just to wrap things up and give some kind of conclusion. I think we have given that flavour that we are a highly aspirational school based on those fundamentals and those qualities of what is offered in Epsom College in the UK and the best of international education. I think we've shown that in terms of the facilities and in terms of our teachers and our vision and our philosophy. I think another thing, though, if I was a parent in the UK wanting to consider this, I'd also want to know a bit more. Will my child be happy? I thought when I first moved here in 2018 that it would be like having to learn everything from new, that it would be so different. But in fact, the young people of Asia, of Malaysia, of this part of the world share many, many things with their families back in the UK or in Europe. They all want their children to succeed. They all want them to be happy. They want them to be safe. and they want them to have the very best opportunities going forward. And it's an absolute pleasure to lead and teach here in this school. Just give you a little example. One thing is that at the end of every lesson here in Malaysia, the students naturally, as they leave the room, they all turn to the teacher and they say, "Thank you very much." It's just part of their regard and respect for education. It becomes natural to say thank you and to greatly appreciate the education that they're provided. Another example, though, is the opportunities that students have. Again, my boys, they have friends in Seoul, they have friends here in Malaysia, they have friends in China, and they are traveling all over the world to keep up with their friends. Our Year 11s, they've just finished their GCSEs, and they're in Bali, of all places. There's groups of them, and they've gone away. I think actually Miss Kate Fowler's son is also there. She's one of them, and her son is there with their friends, having a wonderful time before they come back for our speech day next week. But again, what an amazing opportunity for young people to be together in one of those, if you like, those world-class resorts, to be in Bali, enjoying each other's company and celebrating the ending of their exams. And that's just a little flavor of what it's like to be in this international environment. I've also seen other students come to us. They may be incredibly talented and that we're able to help them forward. Or there are others who have come to us who have had a difficult time perhaps in their school in the UK or wherever, and they come here and after a little while of settling, they feel safe again, and then they start to flourish again. I can see in my mind's eye a couple of students that joined us only this year who have really flourished and become confident young people, and that wasn't quite the case perhaps when they first came, and that is really something special. So again, that's perhaps something for you as parents to consider. Well, that's really everything from us. I know that's maybe a lot of listening to and a lot of slides. And if there are any questions that anybody wants to ask, you are most welcome to ask those questions. We're very grateful that you've joined us this afternoon. We're in the evening. The sun is setting and it's beginning to get a little dark. Whereas for you, you're still not approached midday yet. And that, again, in some ways, that's the difference. The weather is a big difference, but actually the people here are very similar, but perhaps with a little difference is that this dedication, respect for, and high regard for education and a successful future. That is perhaps something that I can detect that is even stronger here in Malaysia than perhaps other places. So thank you very much for your attention this afternoon or this morning. Do we have any questions? I know Mr. Lancaster is helping us this afternoon. I can't see the questions on my screen. No, there's no questions in there at the moment. So if anybody would like to ask any questions, you are most welcome. And I give people a minute if they want to do so. The other option is if you go to the next slide, please, we've got a couple of other ways for you to contact us at the school. Here, you can just scan these QR codes and you can that would take you to information regarding the school. So there's those QR codes there if you want to take a record of that screen or keep a record of that. And then on the next slide, I think there's another QR code, I think, if that's right. Can we go to the next slide? No, that is the last one, is it? There we go. No, there is this one here. There we go. And this is for all our latest news. I would recommend have a look at our website, take a look at the things that I've written, have a look at our weekly newsletter, the Friday Flyer on the website. It really does give a very clear flavor of what it's like to live and learn and work at our school. And again, it's an opportunity then to follow up with any questions. I can see there is one question come in from Naomi Akita. Okay, thank you, Naomi. Is there a SAT prep and exams? Do you know what I'm going to do? Can you take that one for me, Kate, if I hand you back there? So yeah, so in terms of SATs, yes, we do have that program. And so I'll just ask my colleague, Kate Carden-Brown, to give an answer to that one. Thank you.
Yes, we do is the answer. We do offer SAT support. So we've got many students who are targeting US universities. We run SAT CCAs and we offer SAT examinations on site. So yes is the answer.
Yeah, thank you for that. And every year we do have students who sit the SAT examinations and we give them sessions to help them prepare for those. Are you able to share the slides in this presentation? Yes, is the answer to that. In terms of how we want to do that, that's a good question. I wouldn't sort. One option would be for you to put your email address in the comments there, and we will send it to you that way. Or perhaps Anjali, is there a way that we could do that? Is the best way to record people's emails and help to get back to them?
They will get a follow-up email, each of them, so we will include it in that.
Okay. I think the other way of doing that then is if you were, so for Imran, if you want to do that, if you just get in touch with the school and send us an email, I can imagine you might not want to share your email in the text there, then we will get back to you. If you look at our contact details on the school website or use these QR codes with that request, we will definitely get back to you immediately with any information that you require. Absolutely, 100%. Okay. Okay, are there any other questions? No. Okay. Great. Okay, well, thank you again then to everybody. I'll close the call there because I think that everyone's got either the contact details or they can ask their questions now. We are most welcome to get in touch. If you ever got the opportunity to visit or maybe take a virtual visit, we're very, very happy to help you with that and give whatever support you require. Okay. In that case, then we'll end the call there. So from all of us, thank you. Enjoy your weekend, and we hope to hear from you again in the future. Thank you very much. Goodbye.